I like to invite all the story warriors, all the friends of Story Warrior and associates in Asia, in Africa, in Europe, wherever you are, please come out. When you hear the blast of this vuvuzela, make sure you come out because I'm about to usher into this virtual studio, this virtual fireside, a special artist who has worked all around the world, whose vibe has been heard in Arabic countries, in African countries, in Asian countries. But more importantly, he's a very humble and very down to earth gentleman with a whole boatload of talent. Story Warriors, I'm excited for this one because you're gonna be getting a different vibe today from what you've always had. If you're joining for the first time, my name is Gideon Fomokwai, the Story Warrior, speaking this evening from Dallas, Texas. And I have with us in this virtual studio around the virtual fireside, DJ Skipper. DJ
Hello.
Skipper, welcome into studio, sir.
Hi. I am very honored to be here.
Thank you so much. Where are you joining from today? I know it's a virtual fireside. We could be in the same room, but we're not actually in the same room. Which part of the world? Because you travel a lot. Tell us, tell our listeners, our viewers, our admirers, our haters. Nah, I hope they're no haters. Tell us where you're joining from, DJ Skipper.
Well, I am just joining you from, I'm actually sitting on my pillow. So I'm at home in Houston, Texas.
On top of your pillow. I got one too. I got a booster. Otherwise, I'll be low. I'll be so low
Yes,
below.
we all understand how it works after we'll be
Yes.
doing a lot of online podcasts and lives and stuff. Yes.
Thank you. I thought I was the tallest guy in the world. I've always thought I'm the tallest guy on earth until this afternoon. When I was preparing for our interview, I was thinking about what kind of questions to ask you. I was a little bit nervous. I said to myself, I better get some water so I can take a little sip.
Oh, I forgot that one, but at some point, hopefully, we can go get it.
Yes, so I got this one. But here's what really happened. As I was stretching my arm to grab the water from on top of the shelf at Costco, I stretched as far as I could, but I could not reach it. I'm telling you, for the first time, it dawned on me, Gideon, you're not the tallest man in the world. Story warrior, you make a whole lot of noise, but you're not the tallest guy on earth. I was very embarrassed, I'm telling you. Then, as I walked away, scratching my head, there was another taller gentleman right next to me with his wife. He said, I can help you. I can help you. I turned around and looked at him and said, nah, 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 don't help me. I'm good. But he said, don't worry, don't worry. He came, he knew that I was feeling a little bit embarrassed, right? Like, short dude, you're not as tall as you think. And then his wife was smiling and just wiping her face. He came, reached for that item, grabbed the banana that I wanted, grabbed the water, and just put it into my basket. I said, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I
Oh,
was
let me
very
be
humble.
sure I understand. So, who finally grabbed it, him or his wife?
No, he grabbed it. And then he walked away. Then the wife turned around and said to me, that's how goofy my husband is. But I said, he's goofy, but he's very kind.
Nice,
He's
nice,
very
nice,
kind.
nice. Yes.
But it taught me a very powerful lesson. Sometimes when you think you're the tallest guy in the world, you're not the tallest. But I know, DJ Skipper, you are one of the best in the world that I've been fortunate to see. I've seen you in action. The first time I saw you in action, I was like, he's good. Hmm, he's really good. Wait a minute. Who is this guy? I've never heard about him before. Before I left from there, I started asking for the name. Then they said to me, you don't know DJ Skipper? You don't know DJ Skeeper? Where have you been living? Have you been living in a cave? And that's when I realized maybe I'd been living in a cave in Oregon. So everybody around that place knew it was you. And I was the only guy that didn't know. But fortunately for me, the next event that I was down in Houston, I think I was hosting. And guess who was the mighty DJ in the house? It was DJ Skipper. And I was so lucky that we got a day to work together. And I came away feeling very satisfied that I had that fortune to work with you. But DJ Skipper, how did you get started? The finesse, the depth of your skill is your body of work is like you didn't start today, you didn't start yesterday, you didn't even start last year, you started a while back. So tell us, how did you get started?
Well, a story that has never changed, has always been consistent. It's. I think I have a bond with music that started so many years ago. Little for the little story, when I was only 6 years old, somewhere around 5 years old. I went to a family member's. I was visiting at a family friend's house,
Mhm.
and I saw a little piano. That piano, like I saw a little piano at that house, and I was like, everybody else was going there on Christmas Day to play, but I felt like it was for me to go and talk to that piano. And I don't
Mm.
know. Uh, when I went there, that guy actually stays in Houston. The guy who I visited,
Mhm.
his name is Nyamboli. He's a testimony. He's like a witness to this
Mm.
story I'm about to tell you, so people
Mm.
understand that it's a real story. So I went to
Yes.
his house, saw a keyboard, fell in love with that keyboard. A few minutes, well, a few weeks later, I asked my dad. I said, "Dad, I want a keyboard. I want a keyboard. I don't think I want anything else for New Year's because my
Wow.
father would buy us Christmas and New Year's present. We were rich like that.
Wow.
Christmas, I go see this keyboard. New Year's, I asked my dad. I said, I don't want anything for the New Year's. I
Mm.
want a piano. And my
Mm.
first piano was Bontempi. I will never forget. It's no commercial to that company, but that has been part of my story. That's all I can
Wow.
say. Here we are, a
Wow.
couple of years later, and it's
Couple
not
of
been an
years
easy
later,
ride, but I'm here.
couple of decades later, I'm sure you were
Couple of
six.
decades later,
Hey,
yeah,
that is
we have to
incredible.
accept it.
Incredible. So your dad must have been first a very good gentleman, a good daddy, but secondly, one who was also well off enough to acquire that because I think you did not grow up in the United States, right?
Yes, I was born and raised in Bamenda.
Wow, look at that. So your dad was a very committed man. Did he buy it locally or did he buy that piano from overseas?
No, he bought it from, I think he bought it from a store locally in Cameroon. Yes.
Wow. Wow, that's amazing. If you were six, that's amazing. That's definitely you have parents that you can look up to. I think when I was six, honestly, I can't remember what I was doing. I know I was walking around barefooted. I know I was wetting my bed. I know I was the goofiest kid in the village. I know I was causing a lot of trouble. I was falling from on top of trees. I had injuries on my head. I had injuries on my back. I was in deep, 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 deep trouble. And everybody said I was going to end up in the big house. Thank goodness I didn't end up in the coal house. Thanks. So, but that's what everybody said in the village. I was burning down people's homes and doing all kinds of crazy things. But that's a very humble beginning. So it started with a piano. So evolving from there, you went to school. Did you continue to play in school, or you only played during vacation? Did that let you take your instrument to school?
No, oh, at the time that was. I mean, I rest her soul, but I had a mom who was very, very severe about
Okay.
distractions. She would not
Okay.
let anything stop me from being a medical doctor, which I'm
Wow.
not today, but I'm close to a medic. I'm a nurse, so that I think her
Yeah.
wish came true in a way. But
Wow.
no, I didn't take no piano to school. It was not even allowed at the school that I went to.
I can
Yes.
only imagine. I can only imagine how strict the schools out there are. Now, when you went, let's say, to secondary school, I understand you went to a very cool, one of the coolest schools in the whole country. You went to, I'll let you say the name.
I went to Sacred Heart College.
There you
If
go.
that's if that's
I mean,
the
that's a dream for every young boy. I wish I could get there. Maybe they could not have taken me because of my grades, or maybe because we cannot even afford it. I would like to say that's because of grades, but I think
I
we could
would
not
think it's
afford it.
because it's not because of any of the two. Knowing you, I think that you didn't go to that school just because you were probably too good for the school.
Oh, no, that's very kind of you. I went to a government high school. I went to government high school in Bangui. Initially I passed list B, and then I went to another school, and then I did very well in Form One. Then my average qualified me to get my GPA qualified me to go into Form Two in GHS Bangui, and I finished all through there. But clearly, by the time we met guys from lower seat coming from Sacred Heart, we're like, man, we really look at them, we revere these guys because they were like really well groomed. They knew a lot more about how to talk to girls. They knew a lot of things that we did not know, and we were wondering, are you sure? Are you guys really sure you went to a boarding school? Come, you guys, you
Well,
got more social
personally,
skills than we.
Personally, I think that body day school is kind of a swag. I'm just gonna be honest. Sometimes I wish I went to a day school. Sometimes I did wish I went to a day school, but here we are.
Yeah.
Everybody's path was not picked by us, but this is
Yes.
where life has brought us.
Thank you. Thank you. And
Yes,
we look back and we have a little bit of nostalgia. But if we still continue to talk about music, because that's been a major influence in your life, and that's a special gift that you now give to the world.
right.
What other instruments did you pick up along the way besides the piano?
Well, besides the piano, definitely I picked. I learned how to play a little bit of guitar. Well, not a little bit. I can
Mhm.
actually play guitar.
Wow.
Now, I started learning how to play the drums.
Mhm.
And today, as well, one of the things that I'm so honored to know is how to be a programmer, how to work in a studio. And when you work in a studio, obviously you learn a lot of instruments. So I'm glad to say that somewhere I could play a bit of guitar,
Mm.
obviously piano. I can play the drums. Um, I can play the accordion. Well, accordion follows the
Mhm.
piano's family. I
Yeah.
can play the flute. So
Wow.
I think music is just one language. The
Mm.
instrument doesn't really matter.
Mhm. That is so cool. So you play multiple instruments. Let me
Right.
share with you a little pathetic story. So I went to a primary school which was constant. It was in a village, was constantly in the path of the storms, and the wind would blow away the roof of our school every year. So sometimes we had to go to school sitting under the tree, not making this up, a eucalyptus tree. But that's not the coolest part, or that's not the ugliest part. The ugliest part was I so badly wanted to be in a school that had a band. My school had no band until I finish. So I would stare at guys who were playing instruments. I would stare at them all day long. I don't know what magic they were performing, but here's my revenge. When I bought my bamboo flute
Oh.
and learned, self-taught myself how to play a bamboo flute, and until this day, I can pick up an Indian bamboo flute. I can pick up a flute. I've been buying flutes, collecting flutes from Turkey, from China, from Indonesia, from Malaysia, from Hong Kong, wherever I've traveled, I bought flutes, local flutes, and I play the reed flutes. And the best one I bought, I think, was somewhere from Germany, and I still have them with me. The only problem was the maintenance, and
Yes.
I could not really keep up with that. So I diverted into some other instrument. But what really fascinates me is that you learn drums. I learned drums. I could not play drums. And for a
Oh.
guy who grew up in the countryside, I feel very ashamed. Which of these instruments has been easier for you? Flute was easy for me, but clearly drums, unto this day, I cannot even tell anybody I cannot even a tum or even a tam. I cannot do that.
Well, typically, I would say that following rhythm is
Mm,
a very important asset to musical knowledge.
mhm,
Even though I've seen drummers who cannot dance, and that's really
mm.
funny, but I still say this: following rhythm
Mhm,
is a very difficult task.
mm,
But for me, the easiest instrument that I think if I kept going, I would have known it very well.
mhm.
For me, was the flute.
Wow.
Personally, I think that the flute, if I kept going, but
Mm.
you know, I didn't. I think the flute has a lower amount of notes that you have to worry about.
Yes.
And
Yes.
then, obviously, because I play the piano, I find the piano amazingly
Yeah.
easy to talk to, easy
I
to
see.
communicate with. Even though
I
people say
see.
it's difficult, but to me, the
Yeah.
piano is typically is the best instrument that
Wow.
I've known.
Wow.
Yes,
That's interesting. But I think um, part of the fact that you were initiated at a very young age, it means it's ingrained in your bloodstream. It flows through your veins. Because I've seen you perform, and I'm like, this this artist is not just playing because he wants to play. He's playing because it's coming from a deep place, and you can tell. Some people, you think they're playing just for the money, just want to say, "Give me the check, let me go." But when you play, I sense that you are transporting us. You're taking us to a certain location and telling a certain story that only can be told with musical reeds, with musical notes. And that's beautiful. That's genius. And so I've seen you perform that, and I'm like, wow, this has got to be such a fine talent, well kept. But tell me about performing in Africa. As you performed, as you grow up, did you start making a name for yourself already in Africa, or you only started to make a name when you moved to America?
No, my name has existed since Africa. Africa is
Wow.
actually
Mm.
one of the places that made me really famous. Before I got to the
Wow.
US, like people already knew who I was.
I see.
Um, for lack of a better word, for lack of a better circumstance, I had a song that pretty much made me
Mm.
in America because in Africa, um, I when I went to these schools and I left and I went to the university,
Mm-hmm.
um, pretty much university was where I had to push.
Mm.
Now, when I went to Form 5, I wrote the GCE. After the GCE, I was already seeing myself
Mm.
wanting to play in the clubs. I
Wow.
already wanted to play in the musical
Mm-hmm.
cabarets and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
my mom would not allow me because I was young and that was
that's
not the
not
place.
that's not
Yeah,
an agenda for medical school. That this
yeah.
music thing is good, but this is not the path to medical school. Show me the path to medical school.
Obviously, she would not
Yeah.
allow me. So yeah, and then when I wrote the A level, I went to university. That was
Mm.
where I had my own time, my
Bit of
own
freedom, yeah.
a bit of freedom because I was staying in the hostel.
Yep.
That is where I decided. And my first year
Wow.
in university, I'll be honest, was very rough. I
Wow.
was broke.
Yeah.
Like I ate all my money. That was the first few times when I was independent and like money management was not my thing. So I ate all my money. At a certain point, I felt embarrassed asking
For more
my
money.
dad to send me more money. And at that time, my dad was kind of going through a little business downfall.
Yeah, yeah.
So it was not easy to be asking for money all the time. That's why I say, but yeah, I've been having this skill that I want to explore. Why
Mm.
don't I see how
Mm.
I can, yeah. Because from five between from five and upper seed, I was already seeing how money could be
Yes.
a means of
Yeah.
survival.
Absolutely.
I was playing in little clubs in Bamenda and making some little change.
Yes.
Boya was not definitely still growing up.
Yeah.
So Boya was still a small city, it was still a
Yeah.
small town,
Yeah.
and it was not very well developed in terms of the music. But
Entertainment industry. Yeah.
yeah, but slowly there were other ways. I worked in a studio where they were
Mm.
calling me to come play on the keyboard and make even a
Mm.
thousand francs per song. I didn't mind.
Mm. Wow.
So and then when I got to year 2 and year 3, I said, but I don't have to wait for anybody. Let me go
Mm.
and see people and propose that
There
I
you
want to
go.
do this business.
There you go. Generating your business. Waiting for the business to come to you. You go out there and generate business. Isn't that what you're talking about? You
That's
see,
what
I
I'm
love
talking
I love
about.
that because this channel is dedicated to unsung heroes with untold stories, especially trailblazers. And one of the key components we try to enshrine here is let people know that if you want to succeed at something, you better go out and knock on doors. You better go out and blaze a new trail. Don't wait for it to come to you. And that's
Of course.
exactly what you're saying. So, college, were you in Boya, in Yaoundé, in Gaoundéré, in Bamenda? Where did you spend college, university days?
University was obviously talking about Boya. We know that there's only one place, UB,
Yep. Was
University of
UB.
Boya,
Yep.
and that's where I went to. I went to
Wow.
UB. Uh,
Wow. Wow.
but
And did you explore the clubs in Limbe, the clubs
oh
in
yes, oh
Boya, the
yes,
clubs in Douala? Because you are very bilingual. So the good news is you can perform in French, you can perform in English, if I'm not
yeah.
mistaken.
Yes, I am actually. Yeah, we know we've crossed that little part when I was introducing myself. But
Yes.
I'm a born Bamileke boy. Obviously, we
Yeah.
spoke French. Who went to English schools,
There you
so
go. There you
French
go.
is not really a surprise
To
language to
you.
me. It's where I grew up with a French mom
Yeah.
and an English dad, so I'm pretty bilingual.
Fantastic. And that makes it even better. I wouldn't be surprised if you do Spanish now or do Russian or Mandarin Chinese or who knows some other language. I will not be surprised because what I've come to realize is that people who do music are very brilliant. Because if you can remember how many notes are there on a keyboard, what's a language for you? Language is like bonjour.
Yeah,
It's like a small thing. If you can remember, master all those keys and use them, language is very easy. I've really come to see a correlation between success in music and success in other areas of life. I don't know if you've seen that correlation.
obviously, when you music is a brain builder. it's
Yes.
a it's a serious brain builder because music has taught me languages that I would never be speaking today. I speak I speak Douala because I
Mm,
worked in Douala,
mm.
so I speak Douala like
There you go.
I could give
Like a
myself
regular
credit.
Douala boy,
Yes, you will
Douala.
not say some
Wow.
words in you cannot gossip
Wow.
next to me
Wow. Look
in
at
the
that.
Douala language. Hmm.
That is amazing. That's amazing. That's the power of music. But music can also export a culture. Music can take us beyond boundaries. And I know you've
Right.
been taking your music to many places. So tell us, where are some of these cool places you've been taking your music to?
Hey, let's start with Cameroon. When I was in
Yes.
Cameroon, through music, the first time I ever set my feet in a plane, well, yeah, apart from that, taking us for children trip,
Mhm.
musically, the first place I ever visited as a
Mhm.
musician was South Africa. So
Wow. Look at that.
yes, I went to. Well, let me go back a little bit.
Yeah.
I went to Nigeria, obviously, because we had. I was in a movie industry called Splash Networks, and they
Mhm.
let us travel. So I went to Nigeria through music.
Mhm.
I worked on soundtracks,
Mhm.
collaborated with some Nigerian
Mm.
musicians. I
Mhm.
went to South Africa just for 2 days. Funny enough,
No
yeah.
kidding. No
I
kidding.
yes, and then I went the place where I actually put my footprint as a musician was
Mhm.
Equatorial Guinea. I went to
Wow.
Malabo.
Mhm.
My first major job as a
Mm.
travel musician was in the Equatorial Guinea.
Wow.
Yes,
Wow. So
so
you certainly picked a big check from their oil boom, from their oil industry. That's what you're
yes,
saying.
I personally knew Teodoro Obiangema.
No kidding.
I worked for the daughter of Obiangema, the president,
Yes,
and I
sir.
got to meet some of these people. So I
No
had a
kidding.
I had a I had a service car. Oh my God,
No
that was a good
kidding.
life.
No kidding.
I even had a green card for that
Yeah.
country.
No
So
kidding.
that's where I started believing that music could actually take me places. And then now, if you leave there and come to the United States,
Yeah.
uh, music, wow, United
It's
States music has even taken me back to Africa from the United States.
yes.
I've been to Congo, Kenya. I've been to Tanzania. I've been to Rwanda. I
Yeah.
have been to Congo, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, South Africa. Let's keep going.
No kidding.
Ghana. Let's keep going. I
Egypt,
went Maldives.
Maldives, Maldives.
Y-
Okay, I've not been to Maldives. I envy you. And I
yes.
will tell you more reasons why I envy you. In a good way,
Well,
because it's your skill, it's your hard work. It's not envy like it's envy, but Maldives. So let's keep going. Egypt. And I know at some point me and you were
Egypt.
speaking. You
Yes,
said
that's the
you
one
were
I was
getting
trying
ready to
to.
fly to Egypt to do a
Yes.
concert, or I don't know, was an
I
indoor
went to
or
Egypt
outdoor
for a
concert.
birthday. I was invited for a
No
60th
kidding.
birthday. This lady was phenomenal lady. She wanted to do her 60th. She had told me about it when she was 50. She said, Skipper,
No
when I'm
kidding.
60, we are going to the Emancipation Land. We are going to
No
Egypt
kidding. No
to
kidding.
where civilization started.
Began. Yes, sir.
Yes, so she wanted that experience. We went
Wow.
to Egypt and it was a wonderful experience. I mean, so yeah, leave Egypt. You obviously mentioned those Arabian countries,
Yes, sir.
Abu Dhabi,
Yeah.
Dubai.
Yeah.
Yes, Abu Dhabi, Dubai, and then leave there and go to Europe.
Mhm.
Europe, obviously, I've been to Paris, London. I'm actually going to London on Sunday as we
For another
speak.
for a show or this
Yeah,
time, but okay.
a birthday party, a
Birthday
50th
party.
birthday. I get invited to so many different kinds of parties,
Yes.
any kind of celebration. So
Hmm.
London, Paris, uh, Germany. I'm actually
Hmm.
2 weeks from now performing in Germany for a concert which I
Okay.
organize every year. It's
Hmm.
called the Vals Cabaret Night,
Okay.
Valentine's Cabaret Night. I do it
Vows.
every
Yeah.
14th, around the 14th, either
In
before
which
or
city? In which city?
Ludwigshafen.
Ludwigshafen. I don't know that one, but that must be some cool place
Mannheim. I
where
think many people know Mannheim.
Mannheim. Okay, yeah, I know
So
Mannheim. So
Mannheim is where I stay when I'm in Germany. But
yeah,
my show is well, Ludwigshafen and Mannheim is like it's
yeah.
like just 20. It's maximum 10 minutes drive.
Mm.
So yeah, Germany, Italy. I've been to Greece. I've been to Greece. I went to Santorini.
Santorini. Is that a country? Is that a city? Is that some piece of like a fine piece of crayfish that we eat? Is that a prawn? What was
Santorini is.
Santorini?
I always tell people this is how you recognize Santorini. Every time you see on the pictures, you see the. I think it's people build houses downhill
Yes,
leading to the ocean. That is
yes.
Santorini. When
Wow.
you see those houses that descend to the
Into the
ocean,
ocean. Is that in
yes,
Italy?
that
Close
is
to Italy?
it. Yeah,
Okay.
that is an Italian Greek
Wow.
Santorini vibe. Santorini is
Wow.
more of Greece.
I
It's
see.
Greece.
I
Yes.
see. Very interesting. Turkey, I'm sure Istanbul and
Oh, Turkey. I've been to Istanbul for
yeah.
a 40th birthday party. I
No
was
kidding.
invited to Istanbul. I've been to Istanbul to visit.
Yeah.
Well, talking about music, I've been there to perform at the birthday party.
Yeah.
I've been to around, let me see, obviously Belgium, Sweden, Holland. I've been to the Netherlands. And then now let's cross. I'm actually planning on visiting India this year, not to play, but
Yeah.
see if musically I can be of value to them. Because India is a
Absolutely.
very big country when it comes to music.
Ooh, it's huge. It's huge.
Yes.
And I know that,
Bollywood.
yeah, they love African talent too because we bring some powerful, vibrant, quality rhythms that they also have.
Yes.
They're very rich in rhythms. So go explore that. You never know. And let me just warn you, you've not gone yet to Singapore, my favorite place
Oh,
where I've
wow.
lived and
Yes.
spent 10 years. If you go there, they're not going to let you come back. And look at Singapore, Malaysia. And I know for sure that um, when I see Yosundo come and perform in Singapore, I see the appreciation, the adoration that he receives. It's like nobody else. So look into those markets. The
I
Chinese
plan on
market,
going to Singapore. That is actually on my bucket list. So
there you go.
thanks
There
for
you go.
bringing that
I
out.
would I would make sure if I have some contacts I can pass you. Not there's I have a booking agency there that I was familiar with. I don't know if she's still booking now or she's out of business because of COVID, but that's a phenomenal place to go. And mainland China, I don't know much about music shows there, but Hong Kong is very
I've
vibrant.
been
It's
to
very happening.
Guangzhou. I went to
Guangzhou,
Guangzhou.
okay, Guangzhou, yeah.
Guangzhou. I went to
Mhm.
Guangzhou, but it was more to go explore, and that was
Okay.
still. I still consider that part of my musical journey because I heard that DJing in Guangzhou and China was really
Happening.
booming.
Yes.
Yeah. So
And
yeah,
look at the special festivals that bring in African talent, no African buyers every year. I hear they bring like 150,000 people from the continent, well off people to come there for 1 or 2 weeks of um, special expeditions. So you may want to plan your things, plan your seats around that. But let's really go back to special events that you've performed at. Which are some of
right.
the best special events that you've performed at? Is it birthday parties? Is it special professional gigs? Or which ones have you found to be very, very interesting?
I have performed at the Guinea Equatorial Presidency, which was a highlight in my career.
Fantastic.
I performed in at the Waldorf Astoria in Dubai.
Okay. World of
I always
Astoria, I
heard
know
the
it's
world.
in, I thought it's always in New York. I didn't know it's in Dubai.
Yes,
Okay.
I went and actually I discovered the world of Astoria in Dubai before even coming to New York. When I landed and they gave me a VIP suite
Yeah.
at the world of Astoria, I was in my life. I was like, that is an accomplishment because
Yes, sir.
when I was growing up, we all know coming to America,
Yep.
King Jaffe Joffa was staying at the world of Astoria, so that
Okay.
was that name resonated, has taken me through life. I
Okay.
have performed at the Trump Towers in Las Vegas,
Fantastic.
and
That
that
is
is that is another highlight.
that's
I
something.
have performed for an orphanage that belongs
Wow.
to a senator in Congo Democratic,
Yeah,
called
DRC.
yes, called Mosai Sanguma, who just won the elections recently as an he is continuing as a senator. Those are
Wow.
highlights. Playing for orphans is a thing for me. Using my music to touch lives. I actually I'm partnered with with an NGO called the Bright Lights Project. We take children and try to see how their talent, teach them how to use a microphone, how to play the piano. So yes, for me, those are highlights of my career. Playing for those children that I am actually helping to sponsor was also a highlight. So
Wow, that is powerful. Tell me about Bright Light Project. You say Bright Light Project? That's very touching. It's something that,
yes, Bright Lights.
because if you can use your music for a purpose bigger than you, now we're transcending. We're not just talking about here and now. We're looking at, what can we bring to the world that is special. Some people use their talent only for themselves and their families, but
Right.
I admire you so much because you're using your talent not just for yourself, but also to give others a voice. So tell us a little bit about that project.
Bright Light is changing the world through talent. When I came to America, I met this very, very hardworking human being called Franco Bongan.
Uncle Bonga.
He is still my agent till this day. We work together. Most of my first few tracks that I released were released under Franco Records. Franco, I shared this idea with him. I said, "Hey, man, I don't see my music just for myself. I want this thing to, I want to be able to motivate somebody." Now, when you talked of generating business for ourselves, I
Yes,
found
sir.
out that music is a career
Yes,
that you
sir.
could, I have people that have been inspired by me musically. There are a couple of them that I can even name and they know.
Yes, sir.
Sometimes,
Drop some names. Drop some names if you don't
yeah, I
mind,
have
because
a, I,
this is bigger than you and me. This particular
yes.
channel is not about me. It's about us and the larger world. So drop some names if you're comfortable with that.
I sure they know that I have been an inspiration to their lives. There is a guy called Andrew. He's in Chicago, DJ Drew. He was motivated by me as a DJ because he's my nephew. I have Phoebe Ndeng. He's in Charlotte, Carolina. Those are people that I look up to. I'm so proud of them today. I also have Asunya, who is in Washington, D.C. He's a pianist and a very good singer. Same as Phoebe. Those are people I've inspired to know that music is a career, even though they have their own career. So for me, those people, I have a lot of them in Cameroon, people
Yeah.
that I have motivated to see this as a calling and to use to change lives. So the Bright Light Project follows that same spirit. It was for me a way of telling children that, you might be handicapped in one sector and not be in another. And
I
music
see.
talent is something that you never ever give up on. So
Yes,
Bright
sir.
Light for me, Franco, we have worked together. We have taken, I have sought talent in America and Cameroon.
Yeah.
We have, if you go to YouTube and you hit Bright Lights Project, Ebola for Cameroon Ebola. We had a song for Ebola when Ebola was a thing. I got talent from Cameroon in the light of Salatiel, Mr. Leo, Bless B, Dr. Slee, Papa Zoe, Elvin Gebo. We got all those artists together to perform a song and then to motivate the youth to think that, hey, this talent thing could be used to also send a message. I've
Wow.
worked with artists over here in the lights of a whole bunch of artists in America, Katumbela from Tanzania. Uh, we actually had the little brother to Ja Rule rapping on one of our songs at one point. So we have had Jamaicans. Many people have done. If you check Bright Lights Project on YouTube, you're probably going to see all these artists come together. We have Chasta Callis, who is a renowned American singer. She was part of it. We even have a song with Bendeka, another song with Afuakom Yerima, just to tell people that,
Wow.
talent has a lot of symbol when it
Yes.
comes to spreading the word and encouraging the youth.
Wow, that is very profound. I'm very moved by that. Now, I knew you were doing great things in the community, but I did not know about that
All
depth,
right.
nor that scope.
Are
So
we
this
still
is,
on?
I know
I
we
believe.
we're
Yeah.
just getting started. So I'm very, very inspired by that, because every gift that God has given us and we've worked on, we fine tune it to a certain level. It's no longer for us only, and that's exactly what you're doing with this. So, and you mentioned a while back that you were trained as a nurse, and now you work as a full-time DJ and you do more music. So how was a crossover project like? How did you plan it? How did you execute it to the point whereby you had a seamless crossover and you planted your flag in the ground and the whole world knows you now as DJ Skipper, no longer as DJ who was once a nurse. And nothing wrong with nursing at all.
Well, I was a DJ way before I became a nurse. When I came to America, when I decided to move to America and live in America, when my kids were born, um, shout out to my twin boys. When they
Woohoo!
were born, I
Wow, kudos,
decided to
kudos.
come to America, move here permanently.
Mm,
And, when we got here back then, nursing was really an easy way out. We
I
started
see.
as
Yeah.
CNAs and then
Mm-hmm.
medical assistants and then
Mm-hmm.
finally became nurses.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, as a nurse in America, the good thing is it gives you a really flexible schedule as a
Yes.
nurse in America. So
Mm,
I decided to be working part time
mm,
PRN as needed, as we call
mm-hmm.
it in the medical world.
Yeah.
I was working only. I was making my own schedule, so that would allow me in
Mm.
the weekends to be able to
Touring.
travel and
Yes.
do what I love, which is DJing.
Wow.
And at a certain point, I discovered that DJing could be expanded. I do just more than DJing.
No kidding. Okay, give us some clues. What are the other things that you do? I foresee and I can tell that you do a whole lot more besides even your charity work also. What are some of the other things that you're doing which might be of interest to some of our viewers who are developing? Maybe they want to come to you for coaching, for support, for ideas, for advice and all of that.
I'm having a little problem hearing you. I hope we are still
Okay.
on.
We're on, we're on, we're on. Can you hear me now?
I'm having trouble hearing you. Are we still on?
Yes, we're still on. We're still on. Can you hear me? Okay, let
Hello?
me. Hello, hello, hello. Test, mic test again. Can you hear me? Mic test.
Are we still there?
Yes, we're still here. I'm seeing you and I can
I'm
hear you.
having trouble hearing you.
Okay, let me see. Let me pause for a minute.
Yes, I was having trouble hearing. But
Is
now
it
I
better
think
now?
yes, it's better now.
Okay, thank you, thank you. This is unusual. I've never had uh, a blip in the middle of the interview, but we can just go on. So
Okay.
I was agreeing with you that you do certainly not just DJ
Hmm.
work. You're doing way more than that. And if you're open, if you're okay, do you mind to share a couple more things that you do?
Yes, I am. I am a musician. I am a producer. I have worked
Mm,
as a producer. I am also a sound engineer, which means I can
mm,
build sound for any capacity that you think you want to
I
work
see.
with.
I
I
see.
know how to work with decibels and frequencies
Mm,
and all that. So,
mm,
on top of that, I am also an event planner. I can plan an event
mm,
musically. Many
mhm,
people feel like all these things you see only on TV. I have been at a wedding where the bride and groom, I directed them to actually perform through their wedding.
mm.
Shout out to my friend Edwin Gua in Cameroon, whose wedding he wanted to walk in singing with his wife. That's what I do. I can bring
Fantastic.
musical planning to your event. You just it's not all
Wow.
about me singing. So,
Yes.
and on top of that, I can also create. I'm a audio visual creator. I do
Mm,
videos. I do videos and edit them and put some music. I can do
mm.
anything audio visual pretty much. I
I
can bring
see.
to the table.
Very interesting. Now, I know my professional training and speaking friends who would want to have some bits and pieces of music and audio visual into their programming. And that's something that I definitely want to check out more of that with you and maybe bring some introductions or uh, provide some names of people that may want to check that out. But let's talk a little bit about performing for non-African audiences. Is that something you've been doing? And
Oh
how do you
yes.
compare African audiences with non-African audiences?
Let me just say this outright. The easiest audience to perform in front of is the white people. I'm just going to say it is
Yes.
the easiest audience. Why do I
Yes.
say that? Because first of all, dancing, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to hurt anybody, no offense, but dancing
Yeah.
for them is
Yeah.
relatively not too serious.
Sophisticated. Yeah.
Yes, my own, especially my Cameroonian brothers, they
Yeah.
want to dance to Bikutsi,
Yeah.
Makosa,
Yep.
Jang,
Yeah.
Abele,
Hmm.
Botu dance.
Hmm.
To those people, any rhythm, they are
Yeah.
dancing the same thing.
Absolutely true.
So they don't care what songs you put. You can put one song for even 10 minutes and they will still be dancing.
They also do.
Our people want to hear something else. So I performed for an Asian crowd. I performed at the Vietnamese party. I have
Hmm.
done the Mexican party, the Spanish party,
Hmm.
because I've performed in Mexico several times. And part of the Mexican trips I took was to perform for Mexicans. I have done
Mm.
Canadian crowd too.
Hmm. Hmm.
So yeah, I've done a whole bunch of Niger.
Yeah.
Obviously, we are
Yeah. Yeah.
Cameroonians, but across the street from us
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
a very big showbiz nation, and it's Nigeria. And
Wow.
considering that their songs are really taking over the Afrobeat vibe,
Yep.
it's easier for me to do their events too. I've done a Kenyan
Yeah.
event, Congolese event.
Wow.
Those are relatively easy because they have one brand of music that runs.
I see.
Cameroon, we have like, oh, you already
Like
know,
so many varieties. Yes.
so many variety of songs. So it's not,
Okay. Okay.
yes.
Really interesting. Now, Afrobeat is popping. It's popping everywhere. Not only here in America, but even in Asia, because my daughter who grew up in Asia would tell me, "Hey, Daddy, we've been seeing this music, Daddy." They know more about Afrobeat stars more than some of us even do, more than I do. And credit to them. They're younger, they're more in tune with the world. But tell me, why do you think that Afrobeat is popping? Why is it suddenly the thing, the in thing?
I'm just gonna be honest with questions like this because it's it's rather a topic that has been controversial.
Mm,
Afrobeats is simply popular because the people believed in it. They
mm,
believed in their own,
mhm.
and they were not thinking about what the world had to say.
I see.
They were not thinking about the quality of this. They were just
Mhm,
believing in their own.
mhm,
I have seen a lot which is worth mentioning here about 80-20. Play more of this, play more of that.
mhm,
I say this. When I say they believed in their own, it wasn't just the people.
mhm,
It involved the government.
mm.
Sorry that this might sound political, but I've seen in my career, I've seen clubs where people actually said, don't play this kind of music in here.
Hmm.
In Cameroon, I'm sorry, it is the truth.
Wow.
Play we ole makosa, play we
Mhm.
ole this.
Yeah.
When you start making those distinctions and putting one brand below
Or
the other,
drawing lines. Yeah.
drawing lines, that is already for me a
Mhm.
problem.
I see.
I've been to a club where Nigerians dance to their music. And
Yes.
I've been to a club where Cameroonians dance to their music.
Mhm.
The vibe is completely different. One of them is
Okay.
dancing with so much pride, so
Okay.
much enjoyment, so much
Mhm.
encouragement. The other one is dancing like, we don't really have to dance to this. Don't you have this other thing from this part of this country? Because this is right here. So
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
just saying that our government needs to encourage
Mm.
our songs because
Yes.
we have really good music. We have really variety. We have a lot of variety.
Mhm.
We just have to encourage it.
Yes,
So when
sir.
you ask me about Afrobeat, I
Mhm.
think these people believed in what they were producing
Mm.
and then slowly integrated in the world. Some
Mm.
people say the people that overtiff other people their song, but that's a
Mm.
small mind state. What they are doing is they are trying to relate to that crowd.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
So some people will say, I'm a piano started in South Africa, but Nigeria don't take I'm like saying at their own.
Mhm.
I say this, Nigerians did not take it as if it was theirs. They just wanted to spread their culture into South Africa, which is
Mm.
what the world should be doing. We should
Mhm.
be interchanging our cultures so
Mhm.
that we come to a point where, you know, we we come to a point where the world actually bears the name a global village, because all the cultures have been interspersed, and it
Yes.
gets to a point where people actually want to accept that there's another culture that is considered
Yes.
very, very serious to some people and not mess with it.
Yes, sir.
Because when we say don't play these people's music, you are insulting a whole tribe.
Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yes. So that
Very
is why
interesting.
Afrobeat grew up, to in my own
Okay.
opinion.
So, from what I'm hearing, music was politicized. And
Yes.
unfortunately, some people have taken to the point whereby they're drawing the line in the sand and say, don't play this other person. And by so
Right.
doing, they suppress that music.
Exactly.
However, because some people had more conviction in theirs, they've continued to promote it until the point whereby the whole world is kind of like, whoa, they got something. And now the whole world is
Exactly.
appreciating it. And think about music, the Njang, the Mangambo, the Asiko, and all this music is fascinating, but nobody knows about it. So, in your assessment, and this is a political question, who is going to win, Amampiano or Afrobeats?
I
I
think,
have to give it to them that they are fairly modernized and they're 2.0.
yeah.
That means there's melange, there's mixing up. But I see that maybe Makosa and some have not done the mixing up very much. So the melange is not really there. But so it looks like the two big forces on the continent, Mampiano and Afrobeat. And I'm sure there are others like from Ethiopia and the rest. But
Yes.
which do you think would eventually win?
You know, I say this, Afrobeat is any beat that comes from Africa.
Africa. Thank you for
Let people
saying that.
not think Afrobeat belongs to a specific group of people.
Thank you. Say that again.
Afrobeat is any beat that comes from
Comes from
Africa.
Africa, from the motherland.
That is a vuvuzela. That is an
Yes,
Afro instrument.
yes, sir. This is my
So,
vuvuzela. I bought it from Johannesburg Airport.
right. So there is when you Amapiano is an Afrobeat. That's one thing people need to understand. Amapiano is just the various forms of a specific beat that were expressed by different people. But just face it, Afrobeat is any beat that comes from Africa. Makosa is an Afrobeat.
Yes.
Bikusi is an Afrobeat. Jang is an Afrobeat because it comes from Africa.
Yeah.
Now, the only thing that comes with the only thing that seemingly makes Nigeria more famous is because they are the ones who have sold it to the world
Yes.
more than every other country.
Yes.
But guess what? We have musicians who are playing at high scale areas that some Nigerian countries have not yet attained. We have a guy like Richard Bona who
Yep.
plays in Brazil, who plays in festivals all over the globe.
Yep.
So he is using jazz and mixing with Afrobeat to come up
Yep.
with something new, something that people can relate
Yes.
to. Because trust me, music is this way. If you take any song today around the world, you can make an Afrobeat out of that song. You know, there's this song called how do you say it? Okay, so this song says, just the two of us, we could make it anytime, just the two of us, you and I. Now somebody took that song and made my baby, my Valentine. That's the same rhythm. This is the same rhythm. There's a song that says, and Flavor took it and did, oh yeah, follow me, follow me, follow me, come and see my wifey, my beautiful baby. That's the same song. If you want to, you
Break
can
it down
say
at musical level.
there's a guy called Willie Dabaro.
Yeah.
Willie Dabaro took those same chords and did something. That's the same thing. So I tell
Wow.
people, Afrobeat is not a brand. Music is universal. Let nobody lie to you. Nigerians understood it way earlier. They took songs. I would tell you, most of the beginners from there, they were singing Makosa.
Yep.
They just took Makosa rhythm and put their language in it,
Yep.
made the world to understand it. The people believed in it and pushed more of it out there, which is what Cameroon is trying to do now with Mbole. You see now
Yeah.
they are saying "Lo continent." We are selling that to Africa now
Yes.
because with little events like the Cup of Nations, you can use a song and sell
Infuse.
your culture.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Yes. And before we come to talk about some of those big name artists, I want to say, look at World Cup 2000, was it 2010 or 14 in South Africa? Which song did they use? It
Zangalewa.
was a song from Cameroon. And for
Yep,
many years, when I travel around, I met guys from Zimbabwe. I went overseas. People asked about African songs. They asked me about Zangalewa.
of course.
So that's like a tribute to the culture of our country. It's a
Right.
tribute to our form of expression. Unfortunately, it is not continuing to grow at the level that we like. But that's a conversation for another day. Now, you talked about Richard Bona. Are we blanking out again?
I can hear you now. I think
Okay.
it's fine. Yeah.
Okay. Richard Bona, talk about Yusundo. And we've not talked about Senegalese music, Wolof music that's sung in Wolof, Mbalax. What is the influence of that? Or let me ask, have you interpreted that kind of music a lot? Have you interacted with it?
From Senegal, they have Yusundu that has, the idea is if you are selling your culture and you have one brand musician that is doing it, kudos to Senegal because they have two big names in the world that people might have not known. I mean, apart from the Salif Keitas that we know, there is Yusundu who has taken their songs above the horizons
Yes,
across
sir.
the different, and they have
Cultures.
Akon.
Yes.
Akon is a Senegalese musician, and he
Yes.
started like a hip hop artist, built
Yes.
the influence, and then started bringing
Yep.
Afrobeat and Senegalese music into the globe. Now, it is rather not easy considering that it's a French speaking country, but their musicians are blossoming in French countries like France. Most of the French rappers today come from Senegal. I Buba is a Senegal. Most of them, I cannot really say on top of my head. I stand to be corrected, but I know that there is a lot of the French Africa has their French musicians blossoming in French countries. Like
Speaking
Fali
Springboard.
from Congo
Yeah.
is well renowned because of the language barrier. We cannot deny that language is not an issue in the world.
Yes.
But Fali is taking Congolese music across the globe. There is Daju from Congo who is taking their songs and promoting highly in France. So what I think is there is no country that does not have a culture that cannot be appreciated by another Western world country. It doesn't matter where you come from. Techno, there are some techno songs that are purely African. What made West Madiko? West Madiko just took an African rhythm and put it in techno, and it's sold across the globe. West Madiko was known in China, in India. Look at our little Libyanka. Libyanka took a song and she put an African way of singing. Now that song seems like an Afrobeat, but believe me, Libyanka, not only did she mention from Bamenda, people started asking me, where is Bamenda? So every little message goes and
Yes.
cuts across.
Yes.
People were like, what did she mean by from? Let me tell you a little funny story. I went online and I saw somebody write the lyrics to Libyanka. So you know how they do lyric videos.
Yeah.
This person in the beginning said when she said from Bamenda Libyanka, he actually put 3 question marks when he heard from Bamenda. He didn't know what that meant.
Thought it was a word. He didn't know
Yes.
that's the name of a
So
city.
I went under that video and I said the word is Bamenda.
Yeah.
And Bamenda is a place in the
city.
northwest province of Cameroon, West Africa.
Yeah.
This guy went and took down that video and re-put the
Wow.
video and spelled Bamenda
The
and
right
put
way.
underneath and gave me credit. So I'm just
Fantastic.
saying that either ways, it doesn't just have to be the Afro beat. It's the
Yes.
culture. I see a lot of people now saying, "Oh, Biko, oh, Wahala, Wahala." It's not a song, but it's a word that came from Nigeria. It's a
Yes.
word that came from West Africa.
Yes, sir.
That was like music pierces more when we take some of these cultural things and relate them to, even in church they say music is praying twice.
Yes.
Music has a lot of power. People need to realize it. And you must not be a celebrity.
To
You
to
can
to.
be a guy like me who
Yeah.
walks around performing
Yep.
and still making a living, not
Yep.
necessarily looking for the extra money, but just selling our culture and making our people happy.
Thank you so much because
Yes.
this really cuts to the core of what I'm trying to do here. I am a storyteller,
Right.
but I realize that storytelling is not the only way to get ideas out. So I
Right.
appreciate what you do with music because through music, you also get ideas out in a more entertaining way, in a more enjoyable way. So I like to check in with you. Um, who are some of those interesting musicians, artists, creators who you think are doing a very good job of telling the African story through their music or through their creations?
Obviously, I'm not even going to go anywhere without starting from my hometown. We all know that the word Makosa came from a certain Manu Dibango.
Yes, sir.
And somebody called Michael Jackson took
Yeah.
that word
Yep.
and used in a song, Mama 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 Makosa. I
Makosa.
never ever knew
Yeah.
what it was.
Yeah.
That alone just tells you that Manu Dibango is a legend because
Yes.
he took the word Makosa and made the world to know Makosa. That's
Yes.
how every other country started Makosa, Makosa. I met people who, in my DJ career, were people from China just meeting me. Oh, you're from Cameroon. Oh, Makosa, Makosa, Makosa. And I'm like, yeah. You know,
That's
we
a
have
power.
people like Ted Brule who took Bikutsi and the way we play our balafon guitar and actually made it a thing
Yes.
that sold across the globe. Coming to Richard Bonar, everybody knows that Richard Bonar's rhythm on the bass is not a typical jazz rhythm. It is a percussion rhythm because he is playing the bass like an African percussion instrument. If you listen to Richard Bonar, many people go play the slapping bass. Richard Bonar, he plays his bass like an African drum. He does he does things like that.
There you
So
go.
for that difference, everybody knows playing the guitar. They want to do all that guitar stuff that people be doing, like all those things. Richard Bonar wants to. He takes it like he does it.
Yeah.
He does it in a different. That is an
Ah, look at that.
African
Look at
way.
that. I love that. I love that.
Yeah, so I tell people that you don't necessarily need to do something different. Sell your culture more. The
Yes,
song
sir.
that made me was a cultural song. It was Mbolo Mbolo Ma Lucy, which we danced when we
Which
were
I would
kids.
love for us to come to that very soon. I would like for you to work some magic on that keyboard, and then from there we transition to the final section, which is going to be rapid fire questions, and then we can say we had a very meaningful conversation. But
Okay.
why don't you? Do you want to do Mbolo Mbolo Malusi? But before, I want to brag a little bit that I started because of the influence of guys like you. I started messing around with my flute, and when I could not carry my flute everywhere, I started messing with this.
The harmonica.
That's about it.
Yes.
I'm not going to say anything because I'm standing before a greater form of greatness, a greater form of light. I only pull it out when I know that I'm the only light in the room. So I'm not going to do anything tonight. But do you want to do a quick Mbolo Mbolo Malusi that we go to the last piece, which is rapid fire question, short answer, short question, short answer. Then we can
Right.
wrap this
I
up.
would definitely be honored to. Okay, you can hear the piano still clearly, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So I performed recently in California, and I did Bolombolo Malusi in in a very different manner.
Okay.
I started like um 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can you catch a fish alive? Why do you let it go? Because it beat my fingers
Yes.
too. If now you chop the rice, if now you chop the rice, oh, cover boy, go cover you. Mommy water go swallow you. I say, iyo kawu, jama jama kawu. Mami go funga undere fosika bele kawu. School is a good thing, learning is a good thing. I come to school to learn, I come to school to learn. I shall know ABC, I shall know 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Papa. Angelina, oh Mama. Jen, 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 Jen. Jen, Jen. I sing Gombe, Gombe. Gombe, Gombe. T, T, body, body, T, T. Yes,
Oh
so
my goodness.
that can actually go into any kind of rhythm. It doesn't have to be the jang. I put it
Yes.
in R&B before. I've put it in zouk. I've
Mm,
put it in slow. I mean, like I
mm.
say, the way you
Wow.
send your culture out there is very important.
Very,
And
very
we have to
important.
admit that music is some kind of a collaborative thing. You
Language, yeah.
can take a zouk from the Caribbeans
Yep.
and put your own African song in it. Nobody will stop you from doing that.
No, absolutely. And
Yes,
like you're working your magic there. And because I don't read musical notes, but if I hear a song from China I want to play, I play it. So I have songs from China in my repertoire, Germany, Europe, Kenya, South Africa, Caribbean, you name it. And these are songs that I don't even know the lyrics all, but by ear, I mess with it, and in the form of my training and speaking, I will infuse that in here and there to break the mood, just like you did very beautifully. So, in this segment, let's say somebody's just joined us now and they don't know who it is, amazing artist in studio. Uh, what is your stage name?
my stage name is DJ Skipper, the gold finger.
Oh, DJ Skeeper, the golden finger. What about your real name? Do you mind to share your real name?
My real names are Jerry Cleo Tamfor.
Wow, look at that. You have to go deep before you can know the screen name and then the formal name and all of that. But who is your best singer that you've
My
worked with?
best singer is that I've worked with.
Yes,
Okay, my best singer that I have worked with is Libianca.
LeBianca. Interesting.
Yes, to
And
be
who is
honest,
your best singer of all time?
my best singer of all time. Do we are we talking about anybody or just
Anybody. It can be
my
Afrobeat.
best
It
singer
can
of
be
all time is Risha Bona. I don't.
Rishabona.
Yes,
Amazing, amazing, amazing. Okay. What is the name of your best city in which you have performed? Is it Calgary? I know you've been all over around the world. What is it the best city where you've performed in?
my best city. Huh, if I say that is a very very sensitive question.
I know I have to
I
choose
have a
one.
city. I think I have a city where oh my God. I don't know.
You know,
Do I have to answer that question?
no, you can skip it if you don't want to skip it, or you can
Please.
drop one or two or three so that you are fair to everyone.
Okay, if I want to go to one or two or three,
Mhm.
obviously my Calgary people have sold out places where I've played at. Um, Obviously, I'm not going to go without mentioning Minnesota. Minnesota has always been a sold out show.
Yep.
And now it's a lot of them, but I call Minnesota my second home.
Wow.
Calgary, my God, you are putting me on the spot. The third one,
Internationally.
I choose not to mention, and many more.
Okay. How about back home? Which is your favorite city
Oh,
in
my
on
favorite of
On the
all.
African continent?
my favorite city back in Africa, I would have to give it to Cameroon. I cannot.
Wow.
My
Wow.
favorite city, country is Cameroon.
Yeah.
Favorite city where when I
Perform.
get in, everybody like is Bamenda, obviously.
Wow. Wow.
Minus the little two problem we have. Bamenda has always been that city. When I went in, I had a standing ovation.
Wow. Look at that. Look at that. And what's the name of your, let's say, okay, the best party animal that you know? Is it men or is it women?
No, don't joke with the girls, man. The girls would.
They'll tear you
They
apart.
have every asset to use
Yeah.
to party with. They
Okay.
have their voices to scream. They
Pun
have, in short,
intended.
let's end it at the
No
voices.
pun intended. Okay. Best, let's say, best professional group you've worked with.
The best professional group. I have had the privilege to work with Ex Malaya, and I think they are wonderful
Ex-Malaya.
people. Yes,
Fantastic. And your best charity that you've supported over the years?
Bright Lights, Bright
Bright Lights.
Lights,
Bright Lights
my own
Project.
charity, my
Your
own. You
very
can
own
support
charity.
me.
Yes, yes, yes. And the best MC you've had the pleasure of working with.
Okay, that's very very
Tricky.
technical. The MC I've worked with most of the times is
Yeah.
Bendrix. Let's keep it that
Bendix.
way.
Yep,
Bendrix
yep.
Tabu in Houston, Texas. He's in my city. He's my homeland.
Your
He's in my
homeboy.
hometown. Let's just leave
Okay.
it at that. I will
Okay.
not call him the best, but that's who I've worked with more.
The most. Okay. And now, let's say, what are three lessons that you can share to Africans in diaspora on how to share their culture? Just three short lessons that they can use in standing strong and sharing their culture with the rest of the world.
I'm not even going to. I'm not even going to use many words. The word is this three words is share, share, and share. I'm
Share,
not
share,
even going
share.
to. If
Uh,
we can share, because our people do not share.
okay.
Support, I will not call support. For me nowadays, sharing is caring.
Fantastic. Is that sharing music? Is that sharing stories? Is that
Share
sharing
anything
culture?
that belongs to you. Do not go to a
Oh,
restaurant and ask for something. Go to a restaurant with your friends from different countries. Let them taste your food. That's sharing.
there you
Go
go.
to a club, pay the DJ, like I've seen people do back then with Nigerian songs. Give the DJ a tip and tell him, look for any Cameroonian song and play in this club. You
Voila.
never know who is there.
Fantastic. And then
Yes.
last one. Is there any quick tip for people who like to party? What could you do to get the favor of the DJ? At least to give you to shine some light on what's on your heart, on what's in your mind.
What can you do? Don't oversabi. Please, our people, we are DJs. You don't know more than us. That is why we chose the profession. Even if you knew more than us, at least we have built experience. Most of our people, rather than try to advise you, rather than try to cooperate with you and come up with a solution, they are trying to advise as if it's something they do on a regular. I'm
There
not
you
even
go.
going to joke about this. When you come close to a DJ, acknowledge the fact that it was him that was paid and picked for the event. If you
Professional.
are suggesting, let it be a suggestion. It
Yes.
should not be an
An imposition.
ultimatum or some
Yeah.
kind of demand.
Yeah.
Please keep that to yourself. Ask us
Thank you.
nicely. Do you have this? Don't say, play this. There's a difference between do you have this song and play that song. Keep that language within your own judgment before you ask us. Yeah.
Thank you so much, the incredible DJ Skipper. It's been an absolute pleasure and a privilege to just pick your brain. And I'm grateful for the work that you're doing, not only in the world of music and cultural dissemination, but also the work that you're doing in the world of charity and helping others to have a voice for themselves. Thank you so much. All the story warriors out there, please look for DJ Skipper. What are some of the ways people can find DJ Skipper to follow you?
As you spell my name under here, they can
Mhm.
see it. Let me
Yes,
point. It's right here. Huh?
yes,
As
DJ
you see this
Skipper.
name right here,
Yeah.
DJ Skipper, just add Jerry to it on any platform you will find me. My
Wow.
own Skipper is spelled differently. Add Jerry, Jerry. If you cannot find this, you will be. And on Instagram, I am this same name but with an underscore between. right? On Facebook, I'm this same name with Jerry Cleo.
Oh, I
On
see.
YouTube, I am this same name with Jerry.
Awesome.
On TikTok, I am this same name. Just take out the E and R and add LIVE. DJ Skip Live.
I see.
So
I see.
this name would probably find me in most platforms.
Okay.
I am planning to change the name later, but for now, this is
Okay.
what I go by.
Thank you so much. You want just one quick rhythm, like 2, 3 seconds? Tang, 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 tang. You have anything
Okay.
to?
This is funny, but the first time that you ever asked me for a song, it was this song.
Hmm.
Je voudrais m'arrêter sur ce bonheur qui m'est donné. Cette force jaillit de sa fragilité, finit par de m'étonner. Balayer, 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 laisser balayer trop sous elle. Tout paraît beau, tout paraît léger, comme si le monde allait changer. C'est la vie, la vie. La vie, oh, la vie, elle est bien la divine amie, mais dans des heures et des envies. Senga malia, abasangwanyu nanyangwanyu. Lo senga pe malia, mabatu dubanu. Bande babi, jeboko, eba wana no. Bapene babi, jelonge la mudi bawaste. Bulu bawidi tenge, abana wo, nonongo sonjanga mene. Modi muma bangi se mudi mawa. Mutuna mutu nyepon maladi Mutube baba jita Nyasite musami bibu mitumbi Biana butu mwenge bunam Bana nukpaulante bale Ibalalo mboa Bana nulongo ebale Biana butu mwenge bunam. Been drinking more alcohol for the past 5 days. Did you check on me? Did you look for me? I walked in the room, my eyes are red, and I don't smoke banga. Did you check on me? Did you look for me? Cause you see people, people, they don't really know ya. They don't really know ya. Cause you see people, people, they don't really know ya. They don't really know. This is my song and I'm gonna play it last. It's coming out this 2024. Baby, for me, I love you and believe me, my heart is real. Come make we be. I go love you as long as you live, if only you agree me. Baby, I've been waiting for so long. I've been trying for so long. Ever since I found you, girl, please don't keep me waiting. I've been waiting for so long. I've been trying for so long. Ever since I found you, girl, please don't keep me waiting. Si c'est moi que tu aimes, bébé, dis-le-moi. 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 Parce que c'est toi que j'aimerais pour l'éternité. C'est toi que j'aimerais pour l'éternité. Alright, that's song is called Eternité. That's one of the high. That's a very good song that I wrote this year. And check it out. The video is amazing. I'm dancing ballet with an American dancer. She stands on her toes. You're
Yeah.
gonna see.
Wow, Eternity. And guess what? I've been checking out Eternity online just before this show, before this event, this fireside, virtual fireside. And it's talking about love. If it's me that you love, please tell me. And
Yep.
that's what I was hearing. So we want to say, if you love DJ Skeeper, please follow him on X or Twitter. Follow him on YouTube, on TikTok. If you love the Story Warrior channel, please like, subscribe, share with others because we are people who want to share a good vibe. And DJ
Share,
Skipper
share,
has done
share. Share
just done that.
Story Warrior.
Share, share, share.
Share, share, share. Share
We
your
can never
stuff.
lose.
Share your own.
Share your
Right.
stuff from the heart, straight from the heart.
Yes.
Thank you so much, DJ Skipper. Amazing insights. We've never gone over an hour in any of the shows, but this was the first one. I want to thank you so much for your time, for your generosity, and for all that you're doing in the world.
Thank
Blessings,
you
brother.
so much,
Blessings.
the Story Warrior, and
Thank you.
yeah, he's a wonderful guy. Like I'm, not, I
Thank
don't
you.
know, it was all about me today, but I want to give props to your
Thank
podcast,
you.
a video podcast,
Thank you,
ladies
sir.
and gentlemen. This is what we call support your own. We need
Thank you,
many
sir.
people like this.
Thank you,
He
sir.
decided to have me on here,
Thank
and
you.
I would never say no to any of this because this is how the word goes far. People should
Yes.
not sit and
Yes.
think that you, like you said, if it doesn't come to you,
You
go
gotta go
for it.
look for it, generate it, generate
Yes.
it. Go knock
Yep.
on the door. Go build a channel. Go build a pipeline. Go build a canal. Don't wait for the water to come to you. Build a canal, and the water will come to you. You want to eat some fruit, plant a crop. And we've
Yep.
learned that today from DJ Skipper. And I
One
want to
last
share that with
advice
all.
though. Let me
Yeah,
just say this. Please do not think that when somebody comes to you, you are the one helping them. That
yeah,
is my that is my final phrase.
yes.
When they come to you, it doesn't because somebody is soliciting you,
Mhm,
you start feeling that you are the one they need you. Stop
mhm,
that mentality.
yes,
Sometimes these are the things that could change your life, but those are the people who came to you.
yes. Because they cared. They cared
Yes.
about sharing, and that's why they came
Sharing
to
is
you.
caring, not
Sharing is
not
caring.
not beneficial.
Thank you so much. The final word is share, 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 because
Share,
sharing is
share,
caring.
share.
Thank you so much, DJ Skipper.
When
Blessings
this comes
and
out on Facebook, share. When this interview comes out, share. Let
thank
people
you.
know that we were talking about because this is a very good cultural
Yeah.
vibe. This is a
Yes.
very good cultural discussion. And
Yes.
people, we have not spoken anything out of the norms of our
No,
culture.
anything bad. We didn't speak ill of anybody. We didn't talk
Yes,
anything BS. We're just spending time talking about real issues that can lift our community, that can lift everyone up. We do not
exactly.
slash and burn. We do not foul mouth anybody. We're only talking about things that we all can grow. And that's what
Thank
makes
you.
DJ Skipper special.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir. Have a great evening.
All right.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Bye.